Hi, I'm Ian Sepperman, CEO of MobileDev HQ. I'm here with Roby Ganguly of AppTentive and Ryan Morrell of PlacePlay. Welcome to another installment of App Developer Conversations. I will start by saying go Tigers. We're filming this on Wednesday, so today is the first game of the World Series. And for everybody in the Bay Area, I'm going to have to tell you to not watch today. Let's talk a little bit about Microsoft. So we taped this on Wednesday. It comes out on Friday. So today was the release of Windows 8 and Windows Surface tablets. It was a fantastic release.
Great job.
It was an awful release. I can't believe it went that poorly. That was a little bit of Top Gear for you guys. But seriously, so have you heard anything about the Surface? What sort of are the reviews that you guys are hearing? I've seen some positive and some negative, but what are your expectations?
I mean, I've seen both, right? It seems like a lot of people say it's a really nice product, but it's not as good of a tablet as an iPad, and it's not as good of a laptop as your laptop. So, okay, now what? Again, the biggest problem, and we've talked about this before, is the ecosystem matters, and there's no apps. So it's kind of great if you can get to apps, 100,000, 500,000 apps, but if you can't, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I think that the idea that this could be something new and exciting for the ecosystem is cool, but if it falls on its face because consumers aren't hitting the apps, that's going to be disappointing. I've definitely heard people saying it's really great for what it is, but what it is not, it doesn't seem to fit the rubric of consumer demand, like a tablet or a PC, and because it's in the middle, it might just fall through a hole of nobody cares.
Yep. And so let's pretend you're an app developer and we're going to go out and buy this for fun just to see what it's all about. How would you try to take advantage of the fact that you have one of these devices right now in order to benefit your development?
Yeah, I think that I would go take a look at the App Store, see what's there, and I would take a look at the top 50 list in Android and iOS and see what's there. And if there are gaps that I thought I could fill, I would start working.
Yeah, same thing, line filling.
Fun.
Right, maybe it's a fart app, I don't know, but I mean, there's tons of things that you can go copy that'll at least get your foot in the door. And people are going to buy these things, right? Especially the Windows 8 software. So, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily focus on just the tablet market, but Windows 8 as a whole, you can fill some of those gaps easily.
What are the things, do we know all of the different things that sort of Windows 8 and the Surface will be known for, and software-wise? So, there's live tiles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's still a thing.
Yep.
What else do they have in there? So as an app developer, if you're going to go create an experience, tailor it towards what the experience should be on that device.
Yeah.
Live tiles being a great one that people should be playing off of.
Yeah.
I would be thinking about, so to be a little bit more specific, instead of just going to the top 50 lists in iTunes and Android, I would look at the top 50 lists in the sort of tablet markets for both of those, and then I would actually focus on productivity. I would move a little bit away from games because you've got this keyboard, right? Like, what's interesting about the Surface is it's this package that comes with this nice keyboard. So what around those productivity capabilities, the things that use the keyboard, could you be doing? And then to your point about live tiles, what are the OS level hooks that Microsoft's giving people that we know that Apple isn't very interested in giving, and that to a certain extent Android hasn't really capitalized on, but Microsoft, that's where they're good, the OS level hooks for developers. So I'd kind of focus on productivity, using the keyboard, and then what are unique hooks that I could tap into really quickly that they'd want to promote and share.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I think that makes total sense.
Yeah. Getting the platform owner to help you is key, and the easiest way to do that is to help them, right? Have you help them, and using their differentiators is an easy way to kill that stuff.
What's the Urban Spoon shake the phone moment, right? Because that was early on in Apple's lifespan that they said, oh my gosh, this thing that Urban Spoon has done just demonstrates the beauty of this so quickly. So of course Urban Spoon was a big part of the story.
Yeah. So I think the other thing to consider here is Microsoft is very willing and able to help developers in ways that Apple and Google will never be, right? Or Amazon, right? Never going to get there.
Right.
Microsoft has a lot of cash. Go take some. They're handing it out, and it's Halloween, right? It's maybe not quite candy, but it's close. So you can go take advantage of some of the things that they're willing to do to help you get those apps in there, and you should do that.
All right, first weekend sales of Windows Surface.
I'm going to say 750,000.
Does this include the Microsoft employees that get them all for free?
No, it doesn't.
I'm gonna say 250,000.
Wow. All right. I was gonna think that they could break 1 million, but maybe.
Well, so
I think we're all ignorant of there are pre-sales going on, right? Like, I don't even know what the data looks like
Yeah,
around
me
that.
Well, I mean, just think about so Apple sold 5 million iPhones on the first weekend, and a phone has a much different purchase experience than a tablet. And everyone was super excited for the iPhone 5, for good or bad. The Surface, Microsoft people are really excited about it, and so maybe they buy it. I don't know. I'm going 250.
Yeah. Here's a question. When's V3 come, right? Like, both Apple and Microsoft, the lesson is always wait for V3 on the first iteration of something. So how long do you think it'll be before we get V3 of the Surface, the thing that actually works?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question, especially because Apple has a mostly reliable release cycle, but I have no idea what Microsoft's is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if it were Apple, I would be able to tell you that that's going to happen in 18 months, typically, something like that, right?
So maybe the other question is, does a V3 happen?
Right. If this falls on its face.
Well, not only that, but if it does really well, do people like Samsung, Acer, Toshiba all go, screw you? We can't do this, right? So, I think the challenge here is that Microsoft could have done the right thing, which is help their partners build Surface, right? And give away all the documentation, give away the code and the specs and the help that they really need to build a Surface quality device. Because those are the guys that have distribution, right? They're the ones that have channels that Microsoft just doesn't have.
Yep.
So
it's interesting because Microsoft's taking a bite out of the Apple playbook, but it's gonna strain some relationships into the process, right?
Yeah. Well, there's even talk now that they're going to do their own phone hardware. Yeah. Right. Boy. So the other question that I have is whether or not is just on the desktop OS itself, because I've heard people talking about, hey, it's both a touchscreen OS and a mouse/keyboard OS. This is a personal question. You're typing on your MacBook Air. Do you want to touch the screen?
Probably not. No.
I've never felt the need yet, at least.
Yeah.
That's right. I could envision it, but I don't feel that need.
Yeah.
Cover it with potato chip fingers. Grease everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck, Microsoft. We will come back and see who wins this bet. Thanks for watching, and eat 'em up, Tigers. I was totally underwhelmed. I would say the price sucks. The form factor of it to me felt like Apple was following competition, and that's not Apple's MO, and that's